So meteorologist Matt Kirkwood outside braving the cold, the snow, and a big part of this weather story, the wind. Matt, it is just brutal.
Yeah, it's amazing. Over the course of the past, couple hours, I've kind of staggered my live shots about every half an hour. It's amazing the difference between those live shots. My first one, it was just like this, hardly any snow at all. The second one, the snow was coming down sideways. So the snow is coming in variables, but the one constant is the wind, and that's one of the reasons why we have the wind advisory, or actually the winter weather advisory, and the winter storm warning. Another reason why, well, here's the issue. It's the type of snow. We've been talking about this really all season long, is the type of snow that has fallen. This is a light, fluffy snow, kind of a talcum powder snow, and here's the issue. In this wind, you can see just how easy it's going to be for the cars to really pick up this snow. Now, I have the luxury of having a garage and keeping my car in the garage overnight, so it was perfectly clean this morning when I drove to work. My commute's about 4 miles into work, and look, in just the 4 miles, you can see how that snow kind of wraps around the car and sticks to it like a magnet. You can see my back taillight here almost fully covered, so when you get to work, make sure you wipe that off, because people can't see you stop or put your brake lights on. I had a car about 5 lengths ahead of me on the way to work on the freeway. I couldn't even see it because there was so much blowing snow. So just slow things down a little bit, give yourself some extra time to reach your destination, because the wind is going to be strongest this morning, it looks like, then gradually tapering off. So the model this morning is, well, drive slow across West Michigan. Now, coming up in the 8-day forecast, we have record low temperatures expected tonight, and this isn't the only night in the 8-day forecast we can see record low temperatures. Terry's going to have more on that coming up.
This morning, Storm Team 8's Matt Kirkwood is getting a break from the cold. He's live inside the Tropical Conservatory with what the exhibit is all about. Hi, Matt.
I'll tell you, there are probably a lot of weather-weary people out there tired of the winter. It has been a brutal winter, and a lot of us are probably thinking spring. Spring officially begins March 20th, but you can beat it. You can come out to the Frederick Meyer Gardens Sculpture Park right now. We're in the Tropical Conservatory, and it's 85 degrees, or soon to be 85 degrees. A little bit of a fluctuation. I was talking with Steve LeWare, who's the director of horticulture here at the gardens, and we have a special thing kicking off. This is the 19th year of what, Steve?
Yeah, and you're right. It feels great in here. I'm going to have to get rid of this fleece pretty soon, because you walk in from outside and it's just wonderful in here.
So how many different types of butterflies are we going to get to see this year?
So over the course of this exhibition, which runs in March and April, we'll have over 7,000 butterflies that'll fly in this conservatory, and that will represent about 40 different species of butterflies, all tropical, from South and Central America, Asia, Africa, so just a great diversity of butterflies.
I love taking my family here. I've been doing it for many, many years. The kids always look forward to it, including Dad and Mom. What's some of the special events that are occurring this year?
Well, we've got something that we're doing with the Grand Rapids Junior Ballet, and that's going to be happening on, let's see here, that'll happen on March 8th and 12th. Those are Saturdays at 10 and noon. We're also open on Tuesday nights until 9 o'clock, and we've got children's activities that go on. So lots of stuff to do besides seeing the butterflies in here. There's caterpillars in the seasonal display house, so lots of neat things going on.
Oh, excellent. And I hear on Tuesday night something special as well.
Yeah, Tuesday nights we're open until 9, and you'd think, well, it's nighttime, how do we see the butterflies? Right. And you and I were just looking a little earlier at some of them and how they roost. And if you come with your flashlight, you can enjoy seeing where they're kind of sleeping or roosting, and it's a fun hide-and-seek kind of way to look at the butterflies.
Behind us, these aren't butterflies roosting or sleeping. What do we have behind us?
Well, these are all pupa or chrysalis. So what happens is, this is part of the butterfly life cycle where they go through metamorphosis, and we probably remember that from 5th grade science. Yeah. And what happens is the butterfly will emerge from these chrysalis, and as their wings dry and as they're ready to fly, the staff collects those then and releases them out into the conservatory.
Just curious. Now, this event or exhibit goes on, it begins March 1st all the way through April 30th. That's a 2-month-long period. How long does a butterfly average lifespan last?
Sure. Well, it's a little bit different from species to species, but on average they live about 2 weeks. And it's really nice for them in here. I call this the Butterfly Club Med, because they don't have monsoon rains, they don't have predators. and they've got all the food that they can eat in here. So, but about a 2-week average, we get shipments of pupa or butterflies in every week, and those are released weekly, and they spend their time in this wonderful tropical space.
Okay, coming up in another hour, I'm going to ask Steve. We've all been dealing with a harsh winter here in West Michigan, the ice dams and all the snow and so forth. Well, I was kind of curious just how they keep this place heated and keep all the snow off this this exhibit and so forth. So I'll talk more to Steve about that coming up a little bit later, and where we stand in terms of snowfall for the season and this month of February. Right now, live at the Frederick Meyer Gardens Sculpture Park, Matt Kirkwood, back to you.
It's 6:20 now. For a lot of us here in West Michigan, the word tropical probably sounds pretty appealing right now.
Yes, it does. If you're looking for some tropical relief from what seems like an endless winter here, look no further than Meyer Gardens. They're getting ready to open up their Butterflies Are Blooming exhibit tomorrow. This
morning, Storm Teammates Matt Kirkwood is getting a break from the cold. He's live inside the Tropical Conservatory with what the exhibit is all about. Matt?
Yeah, it's 14 degrees below zero outside of this tropical conservatory, and what better way to escape this harsh winter than come inside this tropical conservatory at the Frederick Meyer Gardens Sculpture Park, because what kicks off tomorrow, I think, is some of our favorite of West Michigan. It's been going on for 19 years. It's the butterfly exhibit, and standing next to me we have Steve LeWare. And you know what's interesting? I think we have more snow outside with the kickoff of this exhibit than what we had in December and November when the Christmas trees around the world were going on here. But nonetheless, I love this exhibit. It's great for an educational experience for the family as well. And we're getting a little education right now because my photographer has noticed earlier when we started this live shot that there was only 3 butterflies. Now it looks like we're up to, I don't know, 5 more, and one is actually coming out right here. What's behind us in this butterfly bungalow, you guys call it?
Well, these are all the chrysalids that have arrived. And you're right, as we were standing here, we've actually watched a couple of them come right out of the chrysalids as we were standing here waiting. And what happens is, as these emerge, those butterflies will come out, their wings are wet, they'll start pumping fluid into their wings and getting those fully expanded. They'll dry out, they'll be ready to fly, and then our staff will collect these butterflies and release them into the Lena Meyer Tropical Conservatory.
And it's not just butterflies you have here. Just on the other side of me, we have also, it's one of my favorites, the moths.
Yeah, there's the Atlas moth is one of the moths that we get in as well. And the moths emerge out of cocoons, and the butterflies emerge out of chrysalis. And the Atlas moths are a really big tropical moth, something that's really cool to see.
That's fascinating. And also, I'm just curious, how many different types of butterflies, and also including the moths, do you have out here? And what are some of the more rare ones?
Well, we have about 40 different species of butterflies that will get in over the course of the exhibition. And there's just such a huge diversity of butterflies here. You know, some of my favorites is the great orange tip that's in there. There is the idea or the paper butterfly that you'll see in here. Just all sorts of different varieties. It's really fun to see.
And I'm curious, all right, this has been an incredibly harsh winter. How do you guys keep the snow and ice off this mammoth conservatory?
Yeah, well, we've got 2 really big boilers that work in overtime. And this being a glass house, it tends to melt the snow and ice off the roof pretty quickly. Sometimes you can hear that ice sliding off a little bit, but really there's no problem keeping the ice off because of that heating system. It's all a water boiler system, and with lots of big air handlers, and we've got a wonderful maintenance staff that makes sure everything is kept up and running.
All right, I certainly appreciate this. Is Steve LeWare. He's director of horticulture here at Frederick Meyer Gardens Sculpture Park. I just want to remind folks out there, it's 85 degrees during the day in here, so if you want to warm up, there's no better place. Again, the exhibit kicks off on March 1st and lasts till April 30th. Back to you.
We may be getting some snow, but there's one place in Grand Rapids that's going to make you feel like you're in the tropics. Coming up, what you need to know if you plan to check out Butterflies Are Blooming. That exhibit is taking place, of course, at Meyer Gardens.
And I know that we turn the calendar to the month of March, and a lot of people's minds are thinking spring. We're going to have to hold off on that. Not only 1, but 2 systems heading our way for this first weekend of March. One's just about to move out with a light snow, heavier snow, and more widespread snow heading our way for the second system. I'll talk about how much you get to shovel tomorrow morning right after the break.
always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
There's a live view of our Allendale campus sky cam. Visibility is improving a fair amount. They were never really low, but we're seeing the back edge of the light snow now moving into the GVSU campus, Allendale, and they're adding on to this campus all the time. Amazing how much has changed over the past 20, 30 years. Really, it's turned into a Class A university. Let's take a look at the current radar. Now, this is going to be one of two systems for this weekend. No rest for the weary, I suppose, in terms of snow and cold. Even though we're flipping the calendar, this is what we wake up to on this March 1st morning. More snow out there, and it's most concentrated in and around the Grand Rapids area. You can see light snow continues here, but the back edge pulling out fairly quickly. It's also continuing to snow, especially southeast of Grand Rapids as well. It took a little while to arrive in the Battle Creek area, but and now has since done so. Here's a loop, and I want to track this back edge out of the area. It should be moving out this morning. We'll stop the loop, and we'll track the back edge out there, and it's moving at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So it's not going to take long before it does move out. We're looking at arrival time, back edge, sometime right around 10 o'clock in the Grand Rapids area. Eastern counties, of course, a little bit longer, sometime around 11 o'clock to 11:30, and that's going to be the case also into Kalamazoo as well. We're looking at sometime right around 10, 11 o'clock for you before it comes to an end, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo. But we do have another system out there, and that system is going to spread even more snow across the area for tonight. Here's something else remarkable. This morning, 23 degrees in Grand Rapids, 22 Kalamazoo, 21 in Muskegon. These temperatures are incredibly more warm than they were 24 hours ago. We're 33 degrees warmer in Grand Rapids, 37 degrees warmer in Big Rapids compared to yesterday at the same time. That is one of the biggest turnarounds I've ever witnessed, and that's one thing that helped it out is we had cloudy skies last night as opposed to clear skies the previous night. Here's a futurecast. You can see that snow moving out this morning, being replaced with, well, just continuing with the clouds, just a few flurries this afternoon. But eventually you can see the snow develop early this evening. Deeper shades of blue consistently south of I-96. That's where we think most of the accumulating snow is going to be tonight. Everybody's going to pick up some, but the heavier amounts will be south. We'll start to gradually break up the clouds later on Sunday as the snow comes to an end from south, or actually from north to south. Here's a snow forecast. Anywhere around or just south of I-96, we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches of snow to shovel. Higher amounts will be south towards I-94. 3 to 5 inch accumulating snow is expected there. Also expected, the cold to continue the next several days from Sunday right on through Tuesday. High temperatures, for the most part, only in the teens, and we have a chance of breaking more record low temperatures in the category below zero from Monday morning in particular, also into Tuesday morning. But finally, temperatures start to moderate after a light snow on Tuesday. We'll see some 30s for highs move back into the picture. And boy, won't those feel warm.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Mid to upper 30s.
That still isn't up to average highs.
Nope, not yet. All right. Thank you, Matt.